What's up, everybody? So I just got done watching uh, Chernobyl, and this is probably my third or fourth time through it. Craig Mazin just did a fantastic job with this, and I love The Last of Us. I love season one. I love the game. Season two, I really enjoyed it, but I think there's some more issues with it. But I feel like I love Chernobyl better than both shows combined. Like this, I just the history of Chernobyl is just so interesting, and Legasov is like the true hero of Chernobyl, and the many scientists and other people who helped clean up Chernobyl, the firefighters, the police officers, the people, the liquidators, but they changed it a little bit. So, like, Legasov was never at the trial. Like, at that time the trial was happening, he was in the hospital for a suicide attempt. And what he said at the trial in the show is what he said at Vienna. Um, so, Nikolai Froman, Victor, and Anatoly all got like 10 years, but all of them got like were out in 5, I think. And Froman went back to working at a plant. Um, I don't know about the other what if the other like if Anatoly, but yeah, I guess Anatoly was just like that. I like accounts from what I've read from people giving interviews that he was that intolerable to work with. Like he was so always had an attitude. She just couldn't work with him, and I'm like human stupidity with Anatoly. Like seriously, they were trying to run this test for like I think they said it showed like for 4 years or 3 years, and they just kept like blowing it off or not doing it, and they were like, "We're doing it tonight," and they did it with the night crew who was inexperienced with it. The day crew was more experienced. Like the one plant worker has only been on the job for like 4 months. They were just going by the books, and there were it was just like yelling at the workers like that doesn't help. It's just like it was just a major shit fest, and you see what happens. And there was like like no safety measures at the plant and stuff, and that's what happened. It was like that and the safety measure. So, but I guess Legasov, the tapes came out, which is fantastic. Somebody found the tapes, and and like I said, he was like one of the main true heroes. But I guess him and what was it? I forget the KGB main guy that was in the show. I just looked up his name. Sure, something I can't remember. But anyway, yeah, I guess both he challenged the KBG, and I was like, they stripped him of everything, and even he knew, and I'm just like, wow, it's just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then after, he even said like before when or after he went to Vienna and talked, he had to talk to he ended up going to talk to the KGB and was just like the KGB main guy was just like, well, you do what you do here, follow the rules um on at the trial, and then we'll talk about like the safety measure in the plant. There is no way they weren't going to do it. They even said in many interviews like online that if Legasov never would have said anything, it was like it was still been the way it is. Boris Shabirdov, yeah, I think it was, he passed away in 1990, and then Legasov committed suicide. Like I said in the beginning of when I was talking about Chernobyl, like I think it was a year or 2 years, and they never really kept data like records of how many people actually died. Um, but the the wife of the firefighter, the doctor told them she could never have a child again. And guess what? She had a son, and they live in Kiev right now. I think that's how you say it, but. And I guess like where like in the show where the nurses were taking off the firefighters um boots and jackets and stuff and everything, that's still one of the most highly contaminated, still full of radioactive radiation ever. Like, there's some really interesting YouTube videos if you go searching for it about Chernobyl. I always love doing after I watch this, go onto Chernobyl and look for documentaries or looking for videos, people who've actually can take tours of Chernobyl, but there's also something really cool. We were like really slow at work one day, and I went on Google Maps, and I was just like typed in Chernobyl and had like the Google. You know how the truck or the car goes around, and like the Google Maps, like you can go down the streets. I took a tour of Chernobyl, but you could see it in the background with the protective uh dome. Like you can sort of go up to the gate, but you can't go inside or nothing. It does like Google Maps doesn't let you go that way, but you can go down the street and see it in the background, which is really cool. Totally off topic, but I did the same thing with Dracula's castle. I did Google Maps that, and you could actually go inside the castle and stuff. It was like taking a tour without going to Romania, which is awesome. Like take advantage of Google Maps. You could take tours of some really interesting stuff. Um, and anyway, it's crazy that the reactor was at like 3,200 is the standard or the highest or whatever it could go, but it went 33,000, and it just kept going up, and they were trying to stop it, and they Azar what was it? Was it 13 or 3? I can't remember what the button was, but it actually like as soon as they hit that, it was just like game over. It was just game over for them for the reactor. But it's just crazy that the three, like Anatoly, Victor, and Nikolai, just only spent like 5 years. You think they would have still be in prison today after what they caused and stuff and everything. And I love at the end of the show too, they also have like they show real actual footage of Legasov and Boris and you know Victor and Nikolai and stuff and everything. But yeah, I mean it's just like crazy. It's crazy, like human error. Like I guess Anatoly like wrote a book or something like after the fact and still was like lying in there, so he's just like full of shit and everything, and I'm like he's mostly the one to blame besides the people that knew that there was a leak and stuff and never did anything. But anyway, it's a fantastic show. I love Chernobyl. It is so good. If you've never seen it, you know if you listen to my videos, um despite watching it, I'd still say go watch it. It's just so good. It is so good. I honestly think it's maybe a top 10 or top 15 favorite show of all time. Every time I watch it is great. Oh, and when you go online to read about, I was looking up facts, what was fact about the soldiers really taking out the pets. Don't read that. It's a lot worse than the show. Even though, like I said in the previous episode or 2 episodes, it's like I always fast forward and skip that part because I don't like that part at all. But yeah, it is more heartbreaking and gut wrenching if you read about this stuff online. But anyway, it's the movie guy. Hopefully, everybody has a great night. I'll talk to you later.